Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for February 2021. And this month's focus on communication is going to be pretty strong in your chart, as you'll find as we get into it, and also an intellectual stimulation. And that could be addressed in a natal and transit reading, where you can figure out how to grow and expand your mind, as you love to do. In last month's horoscope, I talked quite a bit about 2021 and how it feels lighter and brighter than 2020, which is great. And that's mostly due to Saturn and Jupiter moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. During February itself, Saturn forms the first of its three connections this year to both Chiron and Uranus. And this is going to bring us a lot of opportunities to understand and also heal our relationship to both the authoritarian and the authoritative within and without. So that'll be interesting, right? If there's anything in your chart from 6 to 12 degrees of any fixed sign at all, meaning Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. And I know you're a Sag, but you've probably got some things in fixed signs somewhere. And if you do, you'll feel this. You can find out more about it in our 2021 news playlist on our YouTube channel. So now we're going to turn our attention to the faster moving planets, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and Julia's got some word on this. Hey, Julia, what is up for the Sages of the world this month?
Oh, well, hey, Sag. So I'll start with Mars. That's the planet of action. That's the planet of energy, also the planet of conflict. And it's going to be in your 6th house all month. This is the house of work. And this is also the house of health as well. So when Mars comes into the 6th house, it can be a little bit of a bumpy time at the job, especially running into disagreements with your boss, with clients, with customers, with coworkers, for example. And since this is also the house of health, if you do have any chronic issues, especially those related to Mars stuff. So that could be blood related issues like pressure, or it could also be infections, inflammations, headaches, that kind of stuff. Then your chronic stuff might be acting up a little bit this month too. So take care of that and support your health where is needed. Now, Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationships, begins the month in your 3rd house. This is the house of siblings. This is the house of your neighborhood. It's also the house of communication. So you're in a wonderful, you're going through a wonderful period where if you need to sort of negotiate something, if you need to be diplomatic with your words, it's a wonderful time for that. If you have any brothers and sisters, you should be getting along pretty well with them during this cycle, and maybe even enjoying your neighborhood, your local surroundings. It's a great time to take a little trip to a local park or beach and just kind of enjoy the area where your home is. Now, Mercury, the planet, then Venus, actually, excuse me, before I'm done, Venus is going to be moving into your 4th house on February 25th. So for the last few days of the month with Venus in the 4th, this is the house of family. This is the house of your physical home. It's a wonderful time for doing something to beautify your home in some way. If you want to redecorate or paint a room, for example. And you can also be getting along really, really well with your family members, the people you live with. And if you have a partner, then you're going to be enjoying spending a lot of time with them at home instead of just going out in the world. Now, Mercury, the planet of communication and mentation, starts the month retrograde in your 3rd house. And remember, this is the house of communication. So with Mercury going retrograde, doing its retrograde cycle in the 3rd, you might have to go over and especially really make sure you kind of smooth out any issues in the communications that you have with other people. This is also the house of writing too. So if you do any writing, say for school or for your professional or personal life, you might have to go over a lot of your work, maybe re-edit or review it in some way. Now, there's going to be an Epiphany Day on February 8th when Mercury very closely conjoins the Sun. And this can give us some mental clarity, especially to help you sort of deal with your Mercury retrograde issues that crop up. Now, Mercury goes direct on the 20th of the month, but it might take another week or so for the full cycle to come to a conclusion, because after a planet goes direct, it's moving very, very slowly. So we want to give it about a week to speed up before we say that the full cycle is complete.
Yes, indeed. So of course we begin the month in Aquarius season, but 2/3 of the way through the month, it becomes Pisces season. and the sun moves into your 4th house. And so that puppy pile in your 3rd house of planets in Aquarius is going to begin to break up, and some of that energy will move on into your 4th house, bringing the emphasis away from the realm of intellect and more into the realm of home and family and cozying up and emotions too. So then we have a couple of moons to talk about. And one of them is the new moon in Aquarius, which is happening in your 3rd house. And really emphasizing that realm of intellect, that realm of writing and thought and so forth. It's happening while Mercury is still retrograde, and so it does capture some of that energy, and that means that there may be, you know, some communications that need to be cleaned up during this moon. We've named this moon leaning into the age of Aquarius because of the massive pile of planets in Aquarius during it. And in the video that we made about that, which is in our February 2021 news playlist on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology, we talk about the age of Aquarius and how and why we're not exactly into it just yet, but that we are already starting to feel, you know, that leaning into things like innovation and technology. That we'll probably be very preoccupied with for about 2,000 years in that age. And I think that this moon really evokes the feel of that. And I think that you find that very stimulating because of the way this falls in your 3rd house. Now, later in the month, February 27th, we have the 2nd moon of the month, which is a full moon. And it falls in your 10th house of career, opposite to the sun in your 4th house of home and family. So once again, the home and family themes are up, and that emphasis in the 10th house is going to bring up the career themes pretty strongly. And we're calling this moon being of service on your own terms, because in career, you like really to be useful because you have that Virgo 10th house, right? And this full moon is going to have you ask yourself, you know, do I want to be of service and useful in a concrete, tangible, measurable way? Or do I want to be useful in more of a, you know, a metaphysical, like an emotional way? Do I want to be emotionally supportive? And Uranus's presence during this moon declares that you don't have to choose. You can actually have both because of the way Uranus forms a harmonious trine to the moon and a harmonious sextile to the sun. So that is pretty cool. So we've been saying for a couple of months now that this winter is a really good time to start new projects. The kind of really big new projects that you would only start, you know, every couple of years or so. So it's a good time to initiate that 5-year plan of yours. And the reason is that all of the outer planets are direct at the same time. Jupiter, Saturn, Chiron, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, they're all direct at once, which is terrific because it means that when you incept something during a time like that, it's like you're disallowing any possible self-sabotage to be thrown into that. And you're pretty much ensuring that things can move along swiftly and swimmingly with that project, which is great. The only exception is, of course, Mercury retrograde, which you know ends on February 20th and covers the whole first, like the whole beginning of the month through the 20th. And so after the 25th is a really good time to begin those projects. And so you might spend the beginning of the month planning how you'll do that. And so that you can, you know, be ready when that good time arrives. And March is also going to be really good for that too. Well, that's what we have for you today, Sagittarius. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do be sure to share it widely, like it, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and also visit our website, pandoraastrology.com, where you will find our monthly forecast and horoscopes. You can get readings with Julia or me, and you can even take a class. And we'd love to see you for any of that stuff. Until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.